Good evening, everyone. Tonight I'm going to talk a little bit about what it's going to take down the Masters. I'm going to mainly focus on FanDuel. However, the strategies that I talk about here tonight are going to be also applied to DraftKings. Uh, Basically, the main thing that it's going to take for winning a daily fantasy sports tournament for the Masters is you need the top 10 finishers. If you don't have top 10 finishers with the winner, you have no shot at taking down the tournament. Here were the last 2 years I've taken down a tournament with on FanDuel for the Masters, and you can see that 2 years ago I had the first place winner and two third place finishes and an eighth place finish. Last year I had five guys inside the top four or tied for fourth or better, and that's what it's going to take to win a tournament for the Masters. You need those top guys that are going to finish high, and then you can even your number six guy on FanDuel has to finish well. A couple years back, you can see that there was a Henley at the top T30. He still was able to get it done with that lineup. That lineup would have actually taken down the 200,000 had I played it in the 15. Instead, I had won it in the 3 or the 4, whatever it was. Some of the thing that I do, one of my strategies that I do is I build this spreadsheet out. This is not filled out, but I look at the odds. So I'm mainly focusing on guys that are 80 or about 80 to 1 or maybe even 100 to 1 as my main focus or my main player pools. Long shots, I pretty much do not play. Maybe I'll sprinkle a little bit in there in case one of them pops, as I do play multiple lineups. But for the most part, I am fading everybody that has higher odds in regards to what Vegas has put out there. But also, I'm showing you my spreadsheet. Everybody from 7K and below, I eliminate. They won't even be my player pool. The sevens, the low sevens, 7100s, 7200s. In past years, I've completely eliminated them. Did not even play them as even a sprinkle. But this year, there looks like there could be a couple guys in the low sevens or even high sevens that could possibly end up with a top 20 type of finish. But I will probably only be sprinkling them in to play something, just maybe to have a little bit of a unique lineup. But what I'm going to be focusing mainly on is probably around the upper eights to nines and above. I won't play anything lower, and that will be the majority of my lineups are going to be in that range, because you are looking for those top 10 finishes in order to try to take down a tournament. If you don't have many guys in the top 10, forget about it. You're not going to, you won't be cashing as far as a takedown. You might cash, but that's, those days of just playing cash and trying to double your money. Sure, you can possibly go for that, but let's be honest here. We want to play for the takedowns. We want the big, the big wins, the $100,000, first place prizes, and that's why you play DFS. You can certainly grind it out and play, the cash games and try to double your money. If that's what you enjoy, feel free, go do it. But I'd rather go for the home runs, and hitting one home run, a year for both back-to-back years has been pretty nice, and I'm going to keep shooting for the home runs rather than just trying to cash. So that's what I do. There's also some trends that you can look at in regards to narrowing down your player pool. I'm not going to get into all the trends. You can just go Google it, go out to DK, their nation, website, and you can find plenty of write-ups all over the internet in regards to the different trends to look at, and when you're trying to narrow down your player pool. I do use Fantasy National to rank my players or to see how they stack up in regards to some key stats. And so the biggest key stats that we're looking at this week are being shown on my screen. So I'm starting with tee to green. If you're not doing well tee to green overall from the drive to the green, you're going to be looking for targeting some of the players that are doing well tee to green. Next is approach. That's always a pretty much no matter what tournament it is, you're looking at guys that do well in approach, but not, it's always a key stat no matter what week it is. However, with this smaller group of player pool, you still are looking at tee to green, which includes the approach shots. You do need some guys that are doing well on par fives, because that's where you're going to do some of your scoring. That's where you're going to get those birdies, maybe a couple eagles, which will help out in your DFS points. You're also going to look for guys that can avoid bogeys, because this is going to be one of the toughest courses all year that they play. It's usually in the top 10 as the hardest courses, and so you want the guys that are going to not only avoid the big numbers, but that are going to get the pars and make the cut, and hopefully if it's a high scoring event where there's not many guys over par, or I should say under par, hopefully you get some of the guys that are avoiding the bogeys that can possibly end up in the top 10 or 20 to help you with that takedown lineups. You need some good putters. Putting is volatile. It changes week to week. You can get somebody that's hot, but overall, I just put that in as a stat to just look at, just to see if anybody pops with the putting that may or may not be in my player pool. Then good drives goes right alongside your tee to green. You want guys that are hitting the ball well, as your Augusta has some narrow fairways, so you miss the greens, you're going to be in some trouble to try to get into the green, the save pars and such. And then DK points, that's what we're looking for. You want the guys that are going to score the points so you can get the high scores and possibly a takedown. I could put birdies on there or eagles, but I usually just go with DK points, and that gives me a good idea of who is scoring the birdies and such. But again, this is one of the best tournaments of the year. It's a major. It's always going to be fun to watch, but it's also more fun when you can get some results like this, and that's what we're shooting for this year. Try to get 3 in a row. So if you got any questions or comments, leave them below. Otherwise, let's get it. Thank you.